Good morning. If everyone will please find a seat, please. let everybody find their spot. Well, good morning. I'm Martha Maddox. I'm the Associate Dean for the Good Friends School of Business, and we're just so thrilled that each of you are here today to enjoy our 8th Annual Distinguished Entrepreneur Award. And so I'm just so blessed that each one of you are here to spend the time, and I'm going to ask Dr. Dan Gilbert if he will come and lead us in our invocation at this time.
Good morning. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, in this season of Thanksgiving, we are indeed thankful this day for many things. We are grateful for our many guests present at this event on the campus of our university. We are grateful for our students in the room who make our work here worthwhile and fulfilling. We are grateful for our award recipient and her family and the inspiration she provides for the future leaders and innovators in the room, our students, and for all of us. We are grateful to be a part of something as wonderful and transformational as Tennessee Wesleyan University in 2021. For the food that we are receiving, we give you thanks and acknowledge that you, Lord God, are our provider. In your name I pray, amen. Amen. Enjoy your lunch.
Okay, whenever they give us this. Welcome, everybody. I'm Harley, Knowles, president of Tennessee Wesleyan University. Please join me in thanking our food service staff for the wonderful food today. And if you don't eat the cheesecake, if you don't mind, just bring it over here and put it on this table here. Sonny and I are going to eat the rest of them. We're thrilled to have you all here today. It's exciting to be together. We've all been through some challenging times, so it's really thrilling to have you all here and to have so many friends and to hear the stories and the laughter, particularly from this table over here. It's quite loud. I do want to thank Martha and Ann and many others who were involved in putting this together. We've been doing this now for 8 years. Can you believe it? And we're honored to have two of our past recipients, maybe more than two. But we have Carl Collins here. Carl, if you would raise your hand. Thank you for this beautiful building also, sir. And then our inaugural recipient, Dr. Bob Goodfriend, is here as well. Bob is our chair of our board as well, and several other past recipients who couldn't be here: Claire Tucker, John Thornton, Hugh Queener, Carol Abasol, and Johnny Holden. So how about a round of applause for those folks? I noticed Representative Mark Cochran is here, and Mayor Gentry, if they could raise their hands. Thank you all for taking time out to be with us. And then we have several current and past trustees. If you're a trustee or a past trustee, if you'd raise your hand so we could thank you as well. And faculty and staff, thank you for the special work you do every day. How about a round of applause for them, too, please? And our executive in residence is here, Paul Wilson. And most importantly, we have a number of students. If you are a senior student, if you'd raise your hand for us. Hey. They're the ones looking for jobs, ladies and gentlemen. So, and Alan, you've hired enough already. I'm sorry. You've met your quota, no more. Go elsewhere. Juniors, and we got juniors in the room, a few juniors. Sophomores, freshmen. All right. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Alan Carter. All of you know Alan. If you want to get anything done in this community, you call on this guy. And he's been very involved in this university in a number of ways, through scholarships, helping us with athletics. Sit down, I'm not done yet. And he's the former chair of the Board of Trustees. And I got more. And he's a fine entrepreneur himself, and but more importantly, he's got a tremendous heart for folks who need a second chance or who are down and out. And he's really an inspiring leader in this community and been a great mentor and friend to me. Mr. Alan Carter will introduce our recipient.
It is with great privilege and honor here to be able to talk about our 2021 Good Friends School of Business Distinguished Entrepreneur Award winner. This one is really special for me to be able to come up here and talk, because a little personal thing here. I'm very close to the family, and I was really afraid that my children, if Shirley won this award, that my children would be raised without a father. So I have survived this deal. But the committee, when your name was on there, we had to do this, and we're just very thrilled that you have accepted it. And we're going to have a lot of fun today. So, Everybody knows that she is an unbelievable, successful business owner. She is an entrepreneur. She's an invaluable leader for Tennessee Wesleyan University and for Athens. We're going to share a few things today that I get to read from the family. The words of Sonny Woodcock, who stalked her on the tennis courts over here. I just heard this story just a second ago. I wish I'd have known that a long time ago. But Sonny says, it's been an amazing journey watching Shirley work for her dad while finishing her education at TWU. She fell in love with the oil business early on. Her dad was an unbelievable mentor with a great relationship with his employees. I think the rapport she has with others and the fairness she shows is one of her strengths. She truly believes that their success is because of the people that work there. Words of Scott Schenkel, brother. It's so hard to put into words the respect I have for our partnership. It brings me joy to look back at the incredible growth we have seen over the years and how many obstacles we have been able to overcome by putting forth our utmost efforts. I love how well our different roles work together, because without them, our team, we would not have Valley Oil Company. Words of son, Matt Woodcock. After graduating from TWU in 2005, I started with the family business. My mother, Shirley, wanted me to see all aspects of the business she and Scott had built. I think that is a valuable lesson that we still use today. I don't think I touched anything.
I don't think you did either. Test.
Yep. Thank you, sir. What Matt was talking about is the valuable lesson that we use today. You only ask employees to do something you are willing to do yourself. In today's fast-paced world, you must always be willing to adapt, change, and grow. I am thankful, he said Shirley here. I'm going to go ahead and throw in Mom for you. I'm thankful for Shirley and Scott are always looking and willing to do this to continue the successful business the family has today. Words of Jamie Woodcock McGinnis, daughter. Selfless, hardworking, intelligent, dedicated, fair, humble. I love the word humble. Thoughtful, eager, and good-humored. My mom, Shirley, is everything a business leader and employer should be. I have always been so proud of and impressed by my mom's accomplishments over the last 33 years. As I enter my 10th year in the family business, I know now even more what a gifted entrepreneur and business leader she truly is. And I am so grateful to be able to learn from her every day. Words of Michaela Schenkel, niece. I started working with a family business just 2 years ago and have enjoyed every second alongside Shirley and my dad, Scott. I always valued everything Shirley and my dad have accomplished, but being part of a company has given me a whole new perspective. I have always admired my aunt, but the way she has welcomed me into the company made transitioning. She went to Auburn, so don't anybody be too upset about that. Company made transitioning from college to the working world such as an easy and exciting process. I'm grateful to be able to continue and learn from her. Words of Sina Coleman. I admire Shirley's kind heart. I'm not just saying that because she is my boss either. She knows I wouldn't say it if it weren't true. She literally helped me rescue a baby bunny at work. Just as long as Matt and Sonny didn't work on that baby bunny. We matter to her. She does care about our families. Working for her is easy. When you have a boss like her, showing up to work and working hard every day is easy. Words of Jessie Swanson. I admire her empathy, gratitude, and respect that she shows her employees and this community. She is inspiring. Words of Marie Schuler. Shirley's an extraordinary woman who leads by example and inspires everyone. Her thoughtfulness and generosity empowers us to do our best. Now that you've heard a little bit about Shirley from the people who really know her best, let's hear more. We've got a pretty amazing recording here that Tennessee Wesleyan University has put together. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Shirley Woodcock, and I'm the Executive Vice President of Valley Oil Company. We are a fuel distributor, and some say supplier, marketer, driver. But what we do, we distribute fuel by going to purchase from refining companies their end product. The refining companies would be Shell, Marathon, Citgo. And then we distribute them to the end users, the retail convenience stores, the trucking companies, farmers, marinas, golf courses. You can just think of us as the middleman between the refined fuel companies and the end people who use our product in the end. So I began working at Schenkel Oil in 1977, just off and on while I was attending Tennessee Wesleyan, and then after I graduated in 78, I went there full time, where I learned from the ground up. Of course, my dad had good people working for him too. We've always been blessed to have good staff, good employees that really make us look good. And so I started with receivables, payables, payroll, customer service, human resource, everything there at Schenkel Oil. So I was working there for 10 years probably, but right after I started, my brother came in a couple years later, and so he was working at Schenkel Oil too, more in the delivery side and the sales side. Then we'd both been there about 10 years, and an opportunity came up for us to purchase another oil company in Sweetwater. And my dad encouraged us to do that. He thought we were ready to go out on our own. So it was a little scary. We had to go to the bank, borrow the money, and then just start from scratch, really, with this small business in Sweetwater. The lady we purchased it from, her husband had just passed, and she didn't want to continue the business, so we were able to come in and help her out, and you know, it did help her. And so when we bought this business in Sweetwater, she owned 3 convenience stores, which my dad, he had never ventured out into convenience stores. So this is a new endeavor for us, and then we also haul fuel wholesale too, so we did it all. And over the course of 15 years, we grew those 3 convenience stores to 20 in about a 5-county area, and we grew our sales distribution to East Tennessee, about 9 counties. And so we rocked along with that for a while, and then during that time, we also had opportunities to purchase other oil companies in the area that for one reason or another were up for sale. So we just, there were about 4 of them, and that expanded our area quite a bit too. And about that time, there was one that came open in Chattanooga, and they were Chattanooga based. So we ventured out and bought the assets and receivables of a company in Chattanooga. And then in 2010, we just decided that we wanted to change our focus back to our roots of just wholesale. So we found somebody that would operate those 20 convenience stores. We just sold the inside operations, retained the properties and the fuel contracts, which was very important. By changing our focus to just wholesale instead of operating convenience stores, it allowed us to reach out further and go into Chattanooga. We also went to Alabama, Georgia, North Carolina, and parts of Kentucky. And so our footprint has increased over the years. We decided in 2018 that we needed to do a rebranding, and we dropped the Sweetwater Valley portion of the name and just assumed Valley Oil Company, because in the areas that we were in, it just made more sense. And we did a whole re-image, new logo, new everything for the trucks. And the trucks are the best advertisement we have. They're just rolling billboards every day. And I'm really proud of the way our trucks look on the road. And it has paid off as far as increasing our business. Well, this truly is a family business. And it started back in the 50s, really, with my dad operating a service station on Rossville Boulevard. And then at the end of like in 1959, he was given an opportunity to move to Athens and become a distributor. And so that's how it all began. And so my brother and I, we grew up in the business, and I have a timeline here on the wall of my pictures of the family and how we started, and a picture of the service station first, and a picture of our dad, and then him standing next to his trucks, which are the bread and butter of this business, is the trucks. And so you'll see a lot of pictures of them up there. One of my favorite pictures is of my brother climbing on the pure oil truck when they're in Etowah, fueling the General Lee, which has been preserved in the Railroad Museum in Atlanta. And what's great about this, we still, to this day, fuel the trains in Etowah. You'll see my brother and I climbing on the trucks back in the day, and then we recreated that a few years ago. And plus some of our newer trucks and the new equipment. Family members that have come in to the business, my son and daughter, Matt, he came in after graduating from Wesleyan in 2005, and he just took off running, and he's part of the distribution and logistics and sales. And then in 2011, our daughter came into the business, and she just took off with the customer relations. She's got such a good people skills and does receivables and things like that. Then recently, my brother's daughter, Kayla, came into the business after graduating from Auburn. She's in Chattanooga, in the Chattanooga office where Scott is, because we've got this same office in Chattanooga that we have here. And we are truly a committed family business, and not just immediate family. We have, I just feel like everybody that works here, that's part of our team, we're all family. And that's just the way I feel, and I hope they do too. I'm very blessed and lucky to have my brother as my partner. We both have a trust and respect for each other, and we share the same values and ethics, and I feel like that's what's allowed us to grow this business. And that started with our dad. Our dad, I guess he taught me my business ethics. He taught how you should treat your customers, how you should treat your employees, and just to work hard every day. He always said, you need to be the first one there and the last one to leave. And that's kind of hard to do, but between Scott and I both, we've been pretty successful at that. And then, just stay humble and kind throughout it all, and give back to your community. And of course, these are all things, I'm not telling anybody anything new. Everybody knows those are things you should do in a business, but it's just, everybody doesn't put it into practice. And I'm just a strong believer in those ethics that my dad taught. There are many challenges that we do face, and sometimes you don't even expect, you don't even know when they're going to happen, but like we have the hurricanes. Our fuel comes through the Colonial Pipeline and the Plantation Pipeline that originate in the Gulf of Mexico. And when you have a hurricane, it just disrupts everything. And it stops production. The fuel comes. And then something that we experienced this past year that none of us had ever experienced before was the ransomware attack on the Colonial Pipeline. And it was shut down for weeks, and it took weeks to recover. because when they stop refining the fuel, it takes forever for it to come back to speed. Because we're used to being able to go to the terminals and get the fuel and deliver it anytime we want it. And when it stops, everything stops. But we have been very fortunate to always be able to at least find enough fuel to keep our customers supplied without running completely out. I mean, there are a few other places that you can get it, but usually every source won't be down. But then when you have tornadoes, we're always on standby. We're on 24/7 for emergency workers like the utility boards. We make sure they don't run out of fuel so they can get out and fix the lines and things like that. And hospital generators, we're on 24 standby for them. So whether it be utility boards, private companies, personal vehicles, what we do is very essential to day-to-day life. I'm humbled and grateful to the committee for recognizing me for this award, but I have to say this award truly belongs to the entire company. I mean, beginning with my brother through to everyone who has worked with us throughout the years. Without them, this would not have been possible. It truly is a team effort.
How amazing is that story? I sit there and I watch those and I see the old pictures from when Scott and Shirley were kids, and to see where this has gone today is truly remarkable. There's one thing that wasn't in there that I would like to add. A true entrepreneur builds teams. A true entrepreneur is humble, has good teammates, has good business partners. And to hold those together is truly is just awesome. The next thing I wanted to share about Shirley is she has taught me so many valuable lessons. She's taught lots of folks. Any of you young folks that go to school here that ever want to have a real good conversation with somebody, she is it. There's not been one time that Tennessee Wesleyan University, any philanthropic thing that I know of, anything that I've ever asked her of, that we didn't ask her to do that she didn't do. Okay? It's so selfless, giving away herself for other people, for her family. Her family does the same thing. The traits have been instilled in them. This is truly a remarkable woman that I am so proud to be up here with. For you to get this award, it is absolutely wonderful. I love you. Thank you. Before you get going, it is my honor to give you this award for 2021 Entrepreneur of the Year. Thank you. There we go.
I am just overwhelmed and so humbled by all of this. And I just can't thank you enough for all the kind words today. Starting with the committee for including me in this awesome group of past honorees. I just am truly humbled and grateful for that. And to Dr. Knowles for coming up with the idea of doing the video, which, has helped me a lot because I do not like to talk in front of people. And I want to thank Ann and Ashley and JJ for helping put the video together and making that happen. JJ's a magician. But this award represents the work of a lot of good people over a lot of years. And I am blessed and thankful to have been able to work with these people and to consider them part of our family. And you really surprised me with all the quotes from the family, but I want to thank them too for being here today, and for my husband who's always supported my career from the beginning and over the past 44 years, and our children, Jamie, who's been with us 10 years in the business, and Matt, 16 years, and then Michaela for joining us 2 years ago. They're all vital members of our team. And unfortunately, Scott couldn't be here today. He had a trip planned that he couldn't get out of, but and I thank all of you. I appreciate everybody who came today for changing your schedules and I know everyone's busy, and I hope all the students that are here today maybe saw something useful to help them as they move forward in their careers. But thank you again.
Stay with me. One more minute. Yes, Shirley, thank you I've enjoyed getting to know you even more through this process of getting ready for this. You are truly a humble and generous leader and such a strong example for all of us. And I'm excited on behalf of the Good Friends School of Business to show you and our guests the wall display that will be going Elliott Hall and will be part of the entrepreneurial legacy of Tennessee Wesleyan. Okay. All right. Just a few more things before we close our program. I also would like to thank, it takes a village to pull a group of, event like this off. And so I want to first start by thanking our DEA selection committee. Mr. Paul Wilson is with us, Mr. Alan Carter, Dr. Martha Maddox, and Mr. Rob Preston. So thank you for working with us. Also a big thank you to Miss Ashley Copeland and J.J. Hewlett, who were the creative team capturing Shirley's story. We appreciate their work. Thankful for Airmark pulling together such a great lunch, and Student Services, Will Nation and his crew doing the setup for this event. And then also, last but not least, Miss Gail Rogers and Miss Faith Akers and Miss Catherine Davis and her team in helping us pull together the fine details of the event. And that concludes our program, and we're glad you're with us today. Thank you to guests and students for coming. Thank you.
Yeah, that's shiny.
Well done, brother.